Welcome to the Black Liberation.Tech podcast, brought to you by Jordan Nuance LLC and hosted by Dr. Renee Jordan. This podcast is a accumulation of Dr. Jordan's dissertation work and her passion for empowering Latinas, Afro-Latinas, Black women, and girls to navigate the academic and professional worlds with confidence and success. Whether you're a mother or guardian guiding a child through grades 6 through 12, an undergrad or grad student, someone working on a dissertation or thesis, or simply looking to carve out your niche in the career landscape, this podcast is for you. Each episode, Dr. Jordan shares her story, offers invaluable advice, and provides practical coaching to help you thrive in school, work, and beyond. Join our community on patreon.com/Black Liberation Tech and become a member for as low as $5 per month. As a member, you'll gain exclusive access to live recordings, impromptu academic and career coaching, and a network of like-minded individuals committed to mutual support and success. You're also welcome to follow Black Liberation Tech on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and LinkedIn, or Black Lib Tech on X, formerly known as Twitter. Visit black-liberation.tech for even more information on Dr. Jordan's adventure in Inglés o Español. Tune in, get inspired, and let's embark on this journey together. Welcome to Black Liberation.Tech, where your success story begins. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Black Liberation.Tech podcast. I am your host, Dr. Renee Jordan, and today we're going to take a look at teaching as a human service, another blog post from April 2018. Here is some advice that I text to my friend, an educator. She said that it was okay for me to share. Hi friend, I talked to a guy named John after my session. He is a human services professional who now works as a faculty member in a college of education in Washington State. He teaches courses in the teacher preparation program. One thing I remember him saying was that at one point, his group was called Teaching as a Human Service. You might want to consider how you can incorporate health and human services into your school curriculum as a part of what defines student success. Are you partnering with any such organizations that are designed to meet these types of needs for the students? These are just some thoughts. Happy Sunday, friend. Yes, specifically for next year, we're partnering with services. We also have a state partner in health specifically too. Not that they do much. By incorporating it into the curriculum, there should be specific objectives and learning outcomes. For example, students will, in order to write a resume, complete their taxes, fill out a job or housing application, the questions to ask the students and teachers are, what are the problems or challenges that prevent student learning? To the partners, what can the services do to address the problems or challenges? To the curriculum, what measurable objectives can determine whether or not these problems or challenges are addressed? One of my professors set up a task for her public school students in a rough part of town. Long story short, she gave the students grade profiles of fake students and had them to fill in the blank for the following. So-and-so would do better if the response the student gave was if someone would tell him what happened to his parents. Friend, yes, that's the on-site partnership for next year, since that was a major gap. Now, how you go about addressing a problem like that, I have no idea, because that is not my specialty. But if you get students to answer questions or fill in the blank around the services your partners provide, then you can get a better idea of how to target the objectives for the partnership that can play out in different disciplines. Friend, this is true. Math, English, social studies, health, etc. Math equals financial literacy associated associated with life skills and not abstract ideas. Reading and writing equal paperwork or websites of services tied to obtaining the service they need to meet their challenges or problems head on, and assignments where students benefit directly from their completion. The key is to ask the students and teachers for the problems or challenges and even the solutions, not just for buy-in purposes, but because they actually know. From there, the partners can partner to work with students and teachers instead of work on students. So this blog is interesting because after the session that I chaired at AERA in New York, I took a break and found a room where there wasn't a whole lot of people and just went to decompress for a moment. And there was a gentleman named John who was there, and he told me about how he went from being in social services to a faculty member at a university or college. And so when he said that they used to call his group Teaching as a Human Service, that really struck a chord with me, because as teachers, we see it all. It's not limited to the discipline that we have gone to school for, but education impacts all parts of life. Now, when I say it impacts all parts of life, that means when people show up in class, they're not just showing up for the biology class. They're not just showing up for the English class. They're not just showing up for the tech class, but they're showing up as whole people with a whole lot of everything: interests, ideas, thoughts, challenges, needs, expectations, motivations. And one of the things that I learned as a result of going through school was Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Now, I'm not going to sit here and tell you all about it. Feel free to give it a look. And one of the primary levels that must be met before students or people can start to think about anything else is to make sure that they have themselves taken care of. And some of those services are available outside of school, but that doesn't mean you have to send the people outside of school in order to get those needs met. It could be beneficial for you to partner with those services, have them come into your class, have them come into your school, have them work with your school or your class, have an assignment that allows students to investigate those services so that they can have those needs met in a way that will help them to move on to whatever else they have to deal with, including schoolwork. If you're a teacher, think about the human services that you can include within your course assignments. If you're a student and you're given the assignment to choose your own topic or research a problem, think about how you can incorporate a human service into your assignment, and perhaps think about how you can go about solving a problem, addressing a problem, researching a problem for the greater good. For those of you who are wondering, I know about social workers and social services, and I might even have heard of child protective services. What are the other human services that are available? Well, here's a short list. I won't go into detail. Feel free to look them up. So, human services include healthcare services, mental health services, social work services, housing assistance, food assistance programs, child and family services, domestic violence and abuse services, employment and job training programs, substance abuse treatment and prevention, disability services, legal aid and advocacy services, financial assistance services, elderly and aging services, community development programs, as well as crisis intervention services. So if you are someone and you seem to be drawn to any of those types of topics, think about how you can include them within your work, whether that is your volunteer work, your school work, or work in terms of where you work as an employee. How can you partner with these services in order to help the greater good and give back to your community? One of the things that I dealt with after graduating with my master's in public policy in starting my PhD program in instructional technology was that I became a first-time home buyer. Now, the paperwork involved in purchasing a home can be overwhelming. And as I completed those documents, I realized that those worksheets that they had us to complete in school actually served dual purposes. It wasn't just busy work, but in life, there are times where you have to complete forms, you have to complete documents, you have to read everything that's there in order to get an understanding of what you're signing up for, what you can expect, what will happen as you move forward past the day of closing, as well as you need to be able to read to find out what questions to ask if you're not understanding everything. A lot of times, real estate agents are able to break down the information in regular layman terms if you find that you're overwhelmed. And they can actually walk you through the paperwork, explaining it along the way as you sign. So don't be afraid to ask questions when you are tasked with paperwork that has to be done in order to get what you want in life, whether that's a home, a car, or your taxes. Make sure that you are aware of what's happening. And if you're an educator, it would be great if you could include such regular life skills such as reading and writing with the purpose of purchasing in your curriculum. Other things that would come up with that would include your credit score, budgeting, filing taxes, and the like. Just think a little bit about what you have to do in everyday life and how what you do at school applies to those things. And if you find that you're not expert enough in that specific area, find someone who is. A lot of times, employers will give employees an hour off to volunteer in order to visit a school and tell them about their profession or the services that they provide. So reach out and make connections for students, perhaps assign them tasks that will require them to take a look at the information that's available. Maybe they don't need it right now, but perhaps they might come across in their future or come across a peer or come across a friend or a family member who could benefit from the information. As far as integrating services into the curriculum, I've already spoken about group projects, and specifically one group project where we worked with a nonprofit organization in order to help them craft a proposal template that they could then use to apply for grants in order to get an executive assistant to take their organization to the next level and extend their capacity. In another class, I had the privilege of working with a community partner on a problem that they were interested in. And with this community partner, she already did a lot of work in order to describe the problem that she was having as a parent and grandparent of students who attended a school. And in her addressing of the problem, she spent a lot of time collecting documents and notes and meeting minutes that showed the history of the problem. And as a result of partnering with her for my assignment, I was able to help her to create visual aids to say, hey, this is the problem we're having. And by creating a graph that provided an image that she could share regarding the issue, she was able to communicate the issue in a way that was a snapshot of what was happening. And as a result of our partnership, she was able to move forward and push those who had the authority to make the proper decisions in order to resolve the issue. In some places, it's referred to as service learning. By integrating services into the curriculum, you can help your students explore how they can take what they're learning in school and apply it in ways that will help them and others address problems and challenges in order to create solutions for themselves and others that can help people move forward with what they would like to accomplish in life. When working with students, it's a good idea to ask them what the challenges are or the problems are in terms of what they would like to solve with what they're learning. For example, it's one thing to assign the student a topic to do research or a topic to do a science fair project on, or assign them a topic in order to get them to complete some kind of assessment of what they have learned in class. It's another thing to ask students for the topic or for the issues or for the problems or the challenges that they want to address, and then provide them a framework in terms of an assignment on how to go about asking the right questions, finding research, locating data to analyze, collecting data to analyze, in order to determine how they can go about solving the problem based upon what they've learned in class, as well as what else they can find out on their own. If you ask them to select the problem, the issue, the challenge, and resolve it, then it's more likely that it's going to be something that's important to them and that can help them along their way, whether it's by them being able to articulate what else is happening in a particular challenge based upon their research and the data that they find, or even finding a solution to something that is important to them that they then can either work on themselves or start to build a better understanding of, so that as they continue to develop their skills, they're able to address challenges and issues and problems on their own and in different circumstances. So when they're able to problem solve and address challenges, those types of skills are transferable and they won't be limited to just the one assignment. When it comes to human services, when it comes to life's challenges, the problems and the issues that go on and the possible solutions for them, they require an interdisciplinary approach. You won't solve a problem strictly by taking on one discipline in order to address it. You're going to need more than just one. And so that problem solving, when it comes to real life situations, will require you to pull from different aspects of not only life, but also learning. So what else have you learned that will help you to address an issue? The more you're able to pull in, the more perspectives you're able to consider, the more people you're able to talk to in order to find out what's really happening, the better you will be able to address a problem, a challenge, or an issue in life. So whether you're a teacher or a student, whenever there's an opportunity for self-selected work in terms of students identifying challenges, problems, and issues, see how you can take a look at something that means something to you as an individual or as a member of your community, and see what you're able to find out, whether it's to collect more information to become more aware of what's happening, getting different ideas on the way others have attempted to solve the issue, taking a look at how you can incorporate the services of others, whether that's from health and human services or other programs that are available. By taking on such problems in school, you're setting yourself up for problem solving in real life. Because when life happens, it happens, and it's going to happen to everyone. So embrace the challenges that are presented to you in terms of having to address real life issues, challenges, and problems in school and outside of school. Find out who provides services that can help support your problem solving. Also, find out where you can find the data. Oftentimes, the government or municipal agencies have data that you can use. You just have to ask for it. Go to their websites, take a look at the website, see if the data is readily available, or perhaps you have to send an email to request data. Use the tools that are available to you, do your research, find out ways that you can partner with someone, reach out to those who have resources and services in order to address life issues that mean something to you. Thank you for tuning in to the BlackLiberation.Tech podcast, brought to you by Jordan Nuance LLC and hosted by Dr. Renee Jordan. We hope today's episode has inspired you and provided valuable insights to help you navigate your academic and professional journey with confidence and success. Remember to like, subscribe, and share, as well as rate and review the podcast to help it become more discoverable. Whether you're guiding a child through grades 6 through 12, tackling undergraduate or graduate studies, working on a dissertation or thesis, or exploring your career options, this podcast is here to support you every step of the way. Join our community on patreon.com/Black Liberation Tech and become a member for as low as $5 per month. As a member, you'll enjoy exclusive access to live recordings, impromptu academic and career coaching, and a network of like-minded individuals committed to mutual support and success. Don't forget to follow Black Liberation Tech on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and LinkedIn, or Black Lib Tech on X, formerly known as Twitter. Visit black-liberation.tech for even more information on Dr. Jordan's adventures, available in both English and Spanish. Stay inspired, stay empowered, and keep moving forward. Until next time, take care. Bye-bye.